I know we're 1-4. We're all frustrated. Can we have a slight laugh here?
I'd like to have a laugh.
All right. So Jerry Jeudy today was asked about the Browns' 4-quarterback plan from camp and the reps given to Flacco and Pickett, who are no longer here, and whether that was a waste of time. I would dare say he dropped the answer on this.
I won't say a waste of time, you know. I don't know what that was, you know. I'm pretty sure everybody thought they'll still be here throughout the season, but, you know, things change.
Well, it wasn't a waste of time.
What happens when Jerry Jeudy suddenly flips the whole NFL script and becomes the league's loudest truth teller? And Kevin Stefanski ends up looking like he just bench-pressed his own coaching career into early retirement. Oh, you already know who's standing right in the middle of that chaos. Shedeur Sanders. This isn't your regular team drama. This is a full-on football soap opera with helmets, egos, and broken trust flying everywhere. Now listen, Cleveland thought they were cruising through another cloudy week. Same gray skies, same cautious optimism, same tired fans still nursing emotional scars from decades of heartbreak. Everything seemed calm until Jerry Jeudy tossed a verbal grenade straight into Kevin Stefanski's polished little playbook.
Expect to go on the road and win, and just frustrated to not play clean football on offense, defense, and special teams. Just can't do it on the road versus a good football team, and we got to get it fixed because, you know, before you start winning, you got to stop losing. We're doing some things right now that are preventing us from winning.
Boom. Peace gone, timelines exploding, Browns fans choking on their morning coffee while their group chats caught fire. And what caused it all? Apparently, Coach Stefanski pulled the kind of move so wild, so tone-deaf, it could shake what little hope Cleveland still had left. He snubbed Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, you heard that right. The man who's been the talk of every football bar and highlight reel. Let's get one thing crystal clear. You don't just snub Shedeur Sanders. That's like sitting in the dark wondering why the lights don't work when you never paid the bill. Shedeur isn't just a player, he's a movement. Part quarterback, part showman, part walking masterclass in confidence. This man walks onto the field like he owns the weather. But Stefanski? Oh, he went full old school hard head mode, acting like it's still 1983 and the forward pass is just a rumor. That energy didn't sit right with Jerry Jeudy, not one bit. So Jeudy decided enough was enough.
Like I'm trying to. Those are the moments where athletes they get to be livid at the situation, and they get to be mad that they have to be the meat shield and the ones that stand in and try to justify a decision by a front office and coaching staff that they don't even agree with.
I just love that he was just flat out like, I don't know what to call it. That's just so like that's endearing. Like when somebody gives you I didn't hear any vitriol, I didn't hear any frustration. I just heard like I cannot call it a waste of time.
Yeah,
not allowed to call it a waste of time. I also don't know what it was.
I think we need to add this to the Kevin Stefanski criticism board as we move forward. The idea that, and it was not just a local, this was a national narrative in training camp moving up.
He wasn't going to watch talent get iced out while the coach pretended everything was fine. And just like that, Cleveland's calm turned into a storm nobody saw coming. The second Jerry Jeudy opened his mouth, it felt like the football gods hit pause on the whole league. One comment, just one. And suddenly, the entire NFL stopped to listen. Because Jeudy didn't just defend Shedeur Sanders, oh no, he cracked open a pattern that's been hiding in plain sight for years. You could feel the tension rising inside Cleveland's locker room like static before a storm. It was as if someone yanked the coach's headset mid-play and said, "Time's up, bro, the truth's out." And here's the best part. Jeudy didn't just say Stefanski made a bad call. He straight up hinted that the man's whole philosophy on quarterbacks might be older than a dusty VHS player in your grandma's basement. The internet lost its mind. Browns fans turned into full-time detectives overnight.
Cleveland with Kevin Stefanski in this quarterback situation after Joe Flacco has been traded to the Cincinnati man. Kevin Stefanski, the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, he is diabolical. Now, we know that Joe Flacco was traded yesterday to the Cincinnati Bengals. And what does that mean? What does that do for Shedeur Sanders? Well, we all know Shedeur Sanders was the emergency quarterback. He was the QB3. And Dylan Gabriel was
connecting dots faster than Reddit conspiracy theorists on caffeine. Everyone was asking the same thing. Was this about ego? Was Stefanski feeling threatened by Shedeur's glow-up? Or maybe, just maybe, the man's allergic to swagger? Because let's be real, Shedeur doesn't just walk into a room, he arrives like a headline. The kind of presence that says, yeah, I've already won the Super Bowl, even if he's just picking out cleats. Meanwhile, Stefanski's whole vibe screams, I starch my khakis before I yell at players. Oil and water, baby. One's got charisma, the other's got spreadsheets. You can already smell the clash. But here's the crazy twist. The Browns, yes, those Browns, managed to find themselves in a full-blown media circus without even losing a game yet. Only in Cleveland could preseason feel like primetime drama. Every time this team builds a little momentum, someone pops up with a brand new storyline hotter than the last. And this one, it's got everything. Betrayal, locker room whispers, drama dripping from every quote.
Well, yeah, I don't think it's as simple as that, Zach. Obviously today we weren't able to run the ball effectively, and then got behind there in the second half. 0 for 3 in the red zone. I know those were 2-minute drives, a lot of them, but we gotta find a way to score points. Got to run the ball efficiently. Got to find a way to be better in the pass game. All of the above. Yeah, I mean, obviously give credit to your opponent.
And a young quarterback whose hype alone could melt the entire AFC North. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders, man's probably somewhere chilling in designer shades, unbothered, scrolling through the chaos like it's free promo. He hasn't even officially taken over a team yet, and already veterans are risking paychecks and reputations just to defend his name. And let's be real, this one hit Kevin Stefanski right where it hurts. The man's whole identity is built on control, order, and those perfectly color-coded game plans that look great on paper but crumble under pressure. But the NFL, it's not built for safe anymore. It's built for chaos, for flash, swagger, and players who make the game look like art. And that's where Shedeur Sanders walks in, the living, breathing embodiment of this new era. You can almost see that locker room after Jeudy's comments dropped like a bomb. Players exchanging side eyes, pretending not to hear, while secretly texting their agents under the table. Some biting their tongues, others grinning like, finally, someone said it! Meanwhile, Cleveland's PR team probably went straight into DEFCON 1 mode, scrambling between drafting a statement or just lighting candles and praying it blows over. Because here's the thing, once that can of worms is open, you can't close it. It's no longer just about Shedeur getting snubbed. It's about respect. It's about leadership. It's about the silent war between the new school players, the ones who play loud, live louder, and don't apologize for it.
Conference after the Cleveland Browns lost to the Steelers today, 23-9. Dylan Gabriel threw 52 pass attempts, 6 sacks, average of 4 yards per pass. Stefanski has zero intention on putting Shedeur Sanders in any game this season. He said he's confident in his guy. He's a tough guy. He's going to be due or...
Versus the old school coaches still running their teams like it's 1998. Jeudy didn't just call out Stefanski's bad decision. He pulled the curtain on a league-wide culture clash. This isn't just about who can throw a prettier spiral. It's about who can own the spotlight. And Shedeur, he owns every single room he steps into. Yeah, he's Dayon's son, but don't get it twisted. He's carving his own legend faster than anyone expected. You can see it in his swagger, his calm under pressure, and the way the headlines chase him like paparazzi at a Kardashian wedding. But let's zoom out for a second. This is Cleveland we're talking about, a city that's practically built its identity on a mix of hope and heartbreak. And now, finally, they've got something that feels new, electric even. A quarterback in waiting who might actually bring that fire fans have been begging for. Yet somehow, Stefanski's still out here coaching like he's trying to win a chess match while the rest of the league's playing Fortnite. When a respected player like Jeudy calls you out, that's not background noise. That's a full-blown flare in the sky. That's locker room code for, we got a problem. said with a polite smile that means trouble's already here.
I was talking about Stefanski.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, he gets bothered by everything.
And I think that's where, if Stefanski feels like Shedeur has become a distraction, I guess my problem is
Stefanski doesn't have power to do anything at this point.
But I think my problem is Shedeur's become a distraction. Because I don't think it's Shedeur. Shedeur doesn't, yes, he can absolutely get more people talking about him by miming and stuff like that. But, like, he's not out there getting in legal trouble, right? He's not out there being accused of what certain dudes in that locker room have been accused of. He's not coming out and saying inflammatory things. So, like, I don't get Kevin's side of this, other than there's just a lot of natural noise that comes with Shedeur, at which point, oh well, he's a member of the team.
Stefanski's defenders rushed to his rescue like knights armed with spreadsheets, shouting, "He's building a system. He knows what he's doing." Sure, maybe, but hey, the Titanic had great architecture too before it went under. See, there are things you just can't coach: momentum and charisma. And that's exactly what Stefanski doesn't seem to get. Shedeur Sanders isn't just another quarterback. He's a brand. He's energy. He's presence. He's relevance wrapped in confidence. He's Cleveland's one shot at being something more than the punchline everyone's used to. And somehow the coach is out here blocking the wave like a human traffic cone in a hurricane. Meanwhile, Jeudy's out there doubling down, probably realizing this thing he sparked is way bigger than he ever imagined. What started as defending a friend just exploded into a full-on football culture war. On one side, you've got the old guard, the guys who think leadership means being quiet, cold, and emotionless. On the other side, you've got the new wave, loud, proud, and unafraid to shine. And then came the memes. Oh man, the internet went nuclear. Within hours, social media turned into a digital battlefield.
My dead body, will Shedeur get a shot? This is all-time shameful on the part of Kevin Stefanski. He won't even speak Shedeur's name in these interview sessions. There's just a principle involved here where at least you acknowledge that by default, Flacco is now gone. Shedeur moved up a slot. He's second on the depth chart. This was Kevin Stefanski pretty much declaring public war on Shedeur. I guarantee you Bailey Zappi is now, and they're not putting it up on the website. I guarantee he'll dress at Pittsburgh and he will be second.
Clips of Shedeur highlights were going viral next to screenshots of Stefanski's strategic plays. Fans roasting him left and right. Some joked the only thing Stefanski's really developed is anxiety. Cleveland Twitter was on fire. The dog pound hasn't barked this loud in years. It wasn't just football talk anymore. It was a movement, and the city could feel it. Cleveland once thought Baker Mayfield was their savior, their golden ticket out of misery. But we all know how that story ended. And here's the wild twist. All this noise, all this chaos might actually be the best thing that's ever happened to Shedeur Sanders. Because if there's one thing this kid feeds on, it's pressure. Doubt him.
Stefanski is the head coach unless Dylan Gabriel gets injured or something dramatic happens, like he throws 50 more passes for 200 yards again. There's no way, even if that, he's still not going to put Shedeur Sanders in the game. If you look at the press conference that just happened, he's going with his guys, do or die. There's no way in hell that he's going to put Shedeur Sanders in the game. And the more that the media talks about it, the less likely he is to do it. He wants to, he at this point,
overlook him, or in Stefanski's case, straight up snub him. And Shedeur will flip that disrespect into motivation faster than a broken play turns into a highlight. He was built for the spotlight. You can see it in every smirk on the sideline, every smooth pregame fit that screams, "I'm not here to blend in." The man walks with the confidence of someone who already knows the cameras are rolling, and Stefanski, he doesn't even realize it yet. But he's accidentally creating the perfect storm that could crown Shedeur as the new face of Cleveland football. Just imagine the headlines when that day comes. The same coach who tried to keep things quiet ends up unleashing the loudest phenomenon in the entire NFL. Jeudy might end up looking like a prophet because while everyone else got lost in politics and locker room tension, he saw the truth. Raw, undeniable talent that can't be benched forever. And when that moment comes, when Shedeur finally steps onto that field as the starter, all those little snubs and dismissals will fade into background noise compared to the roar of what's coming. Because let's be honest, Cleveland doesn't need another system quarterback.
Attitude, and above all, he fears his father. He fears that if Shedeur ever gets a hold of the starting quarterback job in Cleveland, before you know it, Dion will replace Kevin Stefanski as the next head coach of the Cleveland Browns. If Shedeur's ever going to get a shot here, it's only because Jimmy Haslam steps in.
They don't need a safe pick who blends into the stats. They need fire. They need swagger. They need a spark that makes fans believe again. Stefanski might have underestimated not just the power of hype, but the hunger of a fan base that's been starving for a real hero. And if there's one rule you never break in football, you don't underestimate a Sanders. In this city, nothing stays buried for long. And when Jeudy speaks, people listen. Not because he's stirring up trouble, but because he might be the only one bold enough to say what everyone else is too scared to admit. And that's the beautiful madness of the NFL. The truth doesn't always come from the coach's office or some analyst in a suit. Sometimes it comes from the locker room, from the players who are done with the politics and just want to win, no matter how loud it gets. Jeudy lit the match. Shedeur Sanders is the flame. And Kevin Stefanski? Man, he's standing there holding a very flammable playbook, wondering why everything suddenly smells like smoke. That's where this whole thing starts spiraling out of control. Not because Jeudy turned into some villain, but because once the truth's out, it doesn't go quietly back into the locker room. You can't unlight that fire. Suddenly, every sports outlet
or are really disheartened if you talk to the people at the very, very top of the Browns, and I mean the Haslams. Like, it's funny how they, like, whoever told Jason about the fear of being Baker or whatever it is, Jimmy Haslam loved the attention that Baker Mayfield brought. I call him Jerry Jones Jr. for a reason. He loves the idea of people talking about the Browns, people discussing the Browns, and this was one of the only ways you were going to get people to talk about the Browns this season. So I don't think the Haslams at the very top, I don't think they're fearful in any regard with this. I think they're getting exactly what they wanted on this. When they turn on ESPN, when they turn on Fox Sports 1, they turn on the big stations, people are discussing the Browns. They're discussing Shedeur. I think
from ESPN all the way down to the guy with a podcast in his mom's basement started breaking it down frame by frame. Every side eye, every sideline handshake, every word Jerry said was being dissected like a crime scene. The narrative flipped overnight. What started as Stefanski's focused on discipline and structure turned into, is Kevin Stefanski threatened by young talent? And Jeudy? He's somewhere smirking, thinking, I said what I said. Meanwhile, Shedeur Sanders is probably kicked back in designer shades, sipping something cold, watching the chaos unfold like it's a Netflix series titled The Birth of a Legend. And the crazy part? Stefanski clearly never planned for this kind of tension. You can't coach around personality. You either embrace it or you get left behind trying to decode it like a test you didn't study for. Stefanski thought he was being smart, playing chess, letting Shedeur develop, keeping things calm, staying conservative. But here's the problem. The NFL doesn't reward patience anymore. It rewards spectacle. You can go 2-14 and still trend every Sunday if your star player makes people care. Fans don't just want wins anymore, they want moments. And Shedeur, he's a walking highlight reel, a tweeting headline generator, a human moment factory. The system Stefanski built doesn't even recognize the difference between humility and hesitation, and that's exactly where he messed up. He tried to play it safe in an era that only celebrates bold. By holding Shedeur back, he didn't just delay progress, he exposed himself and every old-school coach still trying to survive in a league powered by attention, personality, and social media heat. Because make no mistake, players like Shedeur Sanders aren't just competing for touchdowns anymore. They're competing for influence, legacy, and spotlight. Stefanski's out here drawing up X's and O's, while Shedeur is out here drawing entire fan bases. And now every single mistake Kevin Stefanski makes is going to look 10 times worse. Jeudy lit that fire with just one comment, and now it's burning through the Browns organization like wildfire. Behind the scenes, the front office is sweating bullets, the PR team's out here doing yoga and deep breathing exercises, and the assistants, they're whispering in hallways like it's high school gossip hour. Stefanski's probably practicing his everything's fine face in the mirror. But deep down, everyone knows something's changed. Something big. The players are watching. The fans are watching. Even rival teams are smirking in the background, waiting for Cleveland to do what Cleveland always does, implode. But this time, it's different.
Sitting there watching that game against the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns, I got a message from one of my supporters talking about, I wonder what Tony Grossi going to say now about Dillon Gabriel. How is he going to protect Dillon Gabriel after this dismal performance against the Pittsburgh Steelers? And I got to thinking to myself, Tony Grossi has created this narrative about Dillon Gabriel being way better than Shedeur Sanders, and that Dillon Gabriel is more ready to play the NFL game than Shedeur Sanders. Dillon Gabriel today went out there.
This time it might not be about bad luck or missed field goals. This time it might all come down to one decision: snubbing the one guy who could have rewritten their entire story. It's poetic, honestly. Cleveland finally has swagger, a spark, a cultural reset right in their hands. And somehow, they're trying to fit it into a spreadsheet. Only the Browns could turn a gift into a crisis. Jerry Jeudy didn't just expose a snub, he exposed a whole mindset. A system stuck in the past, afraid to embrace the kind of energy that could bring this city back to life. And now the season, oh, it's about to get louder. Every sideline conversation's gonna be analyzed frame by frame. Every smirk, every handshake, every subtle look between Shedeur and Stefanski, instant meme material. The cameras won't blink because nothing in football sells better than a redemption story that's about to explode. So buckle up, Cleveland. The drama isn't over, not even close. It's just entering the next quarter. And this time, the stakes couldn't be higher. Whether Stefanski likes it or not, the whole world's tuned in, waiting to see how long he can keep pretending he didn't just poke the bear, the one and only Shedeur Sanders. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button, and I'll catch you in the next one.